Hey guys, the audio was playing up a bit on this one. We've cleaned it up as best we can, but appreciate you sticking with us. They say good things come in threes. We're back with episode number 3 of the Props and Playmakers podcast, where cousins collide, codes get cracked, and culture gets called out. So what do you think of the weekend's footy, bro?
Yeah, no, good week of football. Obviously, there's a couple of upsets for myself there, but all in all, a good week of football. Yeah.
They lost the 2 halves in one play.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's unheard of.
The hamstring curse, it strikes.
They say bad things come in threes too, I think, Jake. So.
And then Cobo a little bit later. It's just, man.
It's very unfortunate.
Bit of a tough one. I thought that they fought really hard in the finish, against the, usually when that sort of stuff happens, like Melbourne Storm, they're the type to really crush you and put you to the sword. But I thought the boys, they fought hard. There was definitely, it's put a bit of a dampener on their season overall. But which is something we're going to get into. We're going to have a bit of a chat. I mean, do you think they've obviously named Billy Walters at 6?
Yeah. I sort of thought that was the way they would go up. Personally, my thoughts on it is young Coby Black he's just a bit too inexperienced and untested to be sort of banking your season on him at this stage. I guess there's 2 sides of the coin there. It would be good to see him get that trial and get a dose of pressure football to sort of open him up for next season. But yeah, look, personally, my thoughts were put Billy into the 6, slot Hunt into the 7 and go like that, because you've got a 300-game halfback there. Billy Walters has played 6 quite a few games before, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. I guess, like, I see where you're coming from. My big reservation with moving Billy to 6 is he's been doing so much damage off the bench. He's been like the ultimate super sub. The form he's been in the last, when he comes on in that second half and the forwards are tiring,
his impact has been
around the ruck. He's just causing havoc. I guess I'm on the other side of the fence. I'm probably that bit more of, I'd be willing to take the gamble on Coby. I feel like the issue in this, and not that Billy doesn't have a decent kicking game, but I do really rate Coby Black's kicking game. I think, I've seen him play in the under-19s Origin, and I think he went off with a HIA in that game. And as soon as he went off, and I know it's under-19s football, so it's not the NRL, but as soon as he went off, Queensland, they started falling to pieces. And I don't know, there's just something about this kid that I think it's been a long time since I've seen a half coming through at his age that has had all the tricks in his bag. He's got the running game, he's got the passing game, he's got the kicking game. I don't know, I guess I feel like it's one of those things where you got to risk it for the biscuit. And I would like to see that, but I can, like I said to you, we had a bit of a chat off cam about it. And like I said to you, I thought Madge would take the safe option, but, there is that part of me, that gunslinging attitude that,
You love an underdog.
Exactly. And
look, it's not to say it would have been great to see him in there, and he might still get his runs.
That's it.
Not over there.
That's it, and maybe it's worth, I'd actually have to have a look at your run home, but I don't know if we can
I'm pretty sure there. We've got Dolphins. We haven't got a super hard run home. We've got Dolphins. I think we've got the Storm again for the last game. Dolphins are the next game. I think we've got you guys. Oh, no, we don't have you guys, do we?
Yeah, I'm just having a look here. So, you've got Finns this week, which is the big Battle of Brisbane. That's going to be a fiery clash. Finns also coming off a hammering, which was quite surprising. They got absolutely smashed by the Roosters.
Yeah. Let's just talk about that sin binning. What did you think about that? The ref there with I want 2 from each side. I mean, that it seems to be the status quo these days, that they can't, they feel like, they can't. They don't want to disadvantage one side, but that's the whole idea of a penalty.
He started it.
He's broken the rules. They need to be punished for it. Spencer Leniu should be in the bin for shaping up straight away.
If he doesn't start that melee, the melee doesn't start.
Exactly right. So I don't see how the other player from the Dolphins should be sent to the bin there just for strictly defending himself. The players that ran in, yeah, I can see a case for them to get some sort of a punishment, maybe a talking to, a report, something like that. I don't think 4 players in the bin was the right call on that one.
Definitely, yeah.
And yeah, it's with the ref, the whole I want 2 from each side, that doesn't sound good. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show that the officiating in the NRL, and I hate referee bashing because, you know, like we need them to play the game. But I think that there's become this thing where they remind me of traffic cops. They've got to reach their quotas and they just want, that's what they do. So if they give you a penalty or they give you a 6 again, later on there'll be a square up. And I think that personally, I'd rather them just referee the game. Yep. Get a feel for the game. I mean, it's been a long time. We had a referee like Bill Harrigan who had that feel for the game, and I feel like we've lost that. And I also feel like we do have referees out there that like say Adam G, for example. I thought his performance, you know, obviously a bit of a sore point for you because of the 2023 grand final, but one of the best refereed games. I felt like he let the 2 teams on the field sort it out. But then what happens the next year? He doesn't get the Origin. He doesn't get the grand final. You know, then his confidence goes down because the golden child, Ashley Klein, always seems to get picked. But, you know, what do you do? Like, I guess this is just where it is at for the NRL. And I think they make a rod for their own back with it at times.
Yeah. It definitely is just a bit of it is what it is type deal, I think.
Exactly. No, well, I'm really looking forward to that clash this weekend. It's hard for me in this one because, you know, with the Finns and the Bronx, like obviously I have a bit of a family connection and a soft spot for the Bronx, like obviously switching all those years ago to the Eels, but also played for the Redcliffe. Yeah, I know. I am a dirty traitor. I was the rebel of the family.
Back here with your hat in your hand
now. Yeah. But yeah, also like I played for the Redcliffe Dolphins, and honestly, it was the best club I ever played for. Yeah. Coaching.
Yeah, you had a lot of fun up there. I remember.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we used to in one of the teams that I played in, we it was I think it was Brent Tate and Steve Price's nephew. So we'd have like Tatey come to games and stuff like that. And so, you know, when you've got Brent Tate sitting on the sideline, you're putting a bit of extras in your pass. So yeah, it's but I love this clash. Like I think it just brings out the best in both teams, and we've had a few results go each way. You know, like obviously the Bronx got the chocolates in the first one, where you know that's where Stags was like this is our home, yeah, you know, sort of thing. This is our home. And then obviously last year in the I think it was both teams had to win for a chance to get into the semis. I mean, both teams ended up missing the semis, but they had that clash, and the Dolphins really got a number over them there. So like there is just that rivalry, and it's really starting to build. And I think the people in Brisbane, you know, especially you've got the people up north that are massive Finns fans. And I know there's some people that switch to the Finns when they come in from the Broncos. Yeah. So
well, and they're always a firecracker games whenever you have like the Queensland Derby or the big battles and stuff like that. The guys always seem to put on a show, and they get huge crowds. Like it's not to take away from the crowds down in New South Wales, but because they've got so many clubs and so much option there, if you're in Sydney, you can go to five games on the weekend.
So, definitely. Well, I mean, I was actually down in Sydney on the weekend, and I went to 2 games. You know, I went to one on the Saturday night, which was the Dogs and the Wars game.
Yeah, it was a last minute choice. What are you doing? Let's just go down and see a game.
Exactly.
So you can do that down in Sydney, whereas up here, there's more planning around, I guess. So
definitely,
you get the fans that they sort of plan their night, and they all flock into the city, and you've got 50,000 people filling the seats of the stadium. We've spoken about it, like the sea of maroon walking down from Paxton Street when you're
definitely
coming into that northern entrance of the grounds there.
Yeah, it's something. You know, like I'm definitely experiencing it down in Sydney and then up here. Like, you know, I hate being that guy that says, "Oh, that Queensland spirit," but there's just something about the way our precinct is set up here. Like, so going out to the Dogs game on Saturday night, it was really cool. It was my first time in that Olympic Park precinct, which they actually built that precinct for the Olympics.
Yeah.
So that used to just be wasteland and industrial area.
So how is it? Is it easy to get to? Have they set up their transport around it nicely?
We just drove in and parked up. But they've got like parking around there. Obviously on bigger game days, it might be a bit more of an issue. We ended up finding a park pretty easy, parked up, just walked to the game. With that stadium, I feel like you do need to sit up higher because you are a fair way away from the game. There'd probably be about a 15 meter, at least 20 meter from the dead ball line to the seating area.
And do you find that's taking away from you being what's the word?
Like the atmosphere, being on top of the game.
Being immersed in the game. Find that then instead of, say, looking at the game on the field, you're looking up at the big screen, the jumbo.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely, one thing is with Suncorp, to me, it's still always going to be the best rugby league stadium in the world.
Oh, you're so close you can near touch.
You just
touch the wingers on the field.
It's one of a kind. It's got its own feel. But I must say, I did like being up in that bird's eye view, sort of looking down on the game, and you get more of a feel of what the coaches would be seeing. And I feel like you get to
up in your little crow's nest.
Yeah. So, but it was actually funny. So on the on the half time, they had the Fat Pizza Boys there, and I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised because I think it's Rocky. So I always thought, I'm pretty sure he's like a massive Parramatta fan, and then I seen him come up on the screen in a doggy shirt, and like my heart sank a bit. I was like, no.
They got to stay true to the character.
That's it. And I mean, money talks. You got to go where the money is. Like, I can't begrudge someone for that, but yeah, I mean, come on, Para. Offering him a check, get him back over to this side,
And you want him back. He wants his Rocky.
Yeah. So, speaking of Para, I made my way out to the game on the Sunday. It was started raining a bit, so I had the ponchos out and all that. But
and you just skated in there, eh? So we've been pretty happy with that.
Yeah, just cruised up there and
Moses, the pressure of the game, the heart of the game is for him. The better he plays,
he's clutch. I must say he's clutch. And one of the best things and a lot of people have been making a big deal about this, which I think is absolutely laughable. But the sprays he was giving that young dummy half the silver,
that's what happens if you're unexperienced. You get in there, you try and go yourself, and you hand over the ball. Your halfback's going to be giving it to you, and he's going to be giving it to you hard.
100%. Like
throw the ball. Throw the ball. So your job is to get the ball to the halfback so he can make the play. Your job is not to try and take it on your own shoulders and do it all yourself.
That's it.
And you're inexperienced and you got the white line fever.
100%. I grew up playing in the halves, and I tell you one thing, it used to infuriate me when hookers don't pass you the ball. And then the thing is, your coach will say to you, why did you do this? Why didn't you do that? And I was, well, the hooker didn't pass me the ball. Yeah. Doesn't matter. You're the halfback. You get the ball.
Or if they try and play the ball and go for a play themselves, and they realise they're stuck in traffic, and then throw you the hospital pass.
Exactly.
Oh, what did you do that for? Why did you get trapped with the ball there? Yeah.
You're in a lose-lose situation as a half there, because you're trying to game manage the game, and like that's a big part of your role.
You're looking 2 plays ahead, and he's just gone and just thrown a fucking spade into it.
And so I actually love to see that from Moses. I think if you can't handle that, you're not going to handle being able to win a comp in this competition. And you're looking at Para, who haven't won a grand final since 1986. We need that kind of ruthlessness.
You need the mongrel.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams these days, I think actually I noticed it the other week, and I'm all for sportsmanship and shaking the hand of the other team, but you see at the end of the game, these guys are all hugging and chatting and hanging out like they're best buds. And I feel like you almost want to have that hatred for the other team when you're out there. You want to be out there like they're the enemy. By the end of the game, you're going to let it go and leave it on the field. But also, I don't know about going over and hugging them. Like, I wouldn't really want to hug someone that's just dusted me on the fucking scoreboard 20-0. So,
Yeah, no, it's definitely, and well, the other thing was in that the game, that controversial. Well, a lot of fans weren't really happy about Moses and his about Moses and his like diving act at the end. Hollywood actor, but. Realistically, the thing is I think that they need to go check the rules, because as soon as you catch the ball on the inside shoulder of that lead runner, doesn't matter if Moses falls over or it doesn't matter what Moses does, they will not, like most of the time, well, basically 99.9% of the time, unless probably Ashley Klein's in the bunker, then you might be in a bit of trouble. But, like they're not giving that try. Like, you're obstructing the defense. Like, that's the way it's been black and white for a long time now. Like, you can say, Moses might be up for the next Academy Award, but at the end of the day.
Well, you see him do it all the time. They're like, the guys, once, if they realise that they're in a penalty situation, they always take the flop to the floor and have to milk it. So it's to get the ref's attention, so the ref will actually call a penalty, and you bring his eyes back to it so that he looks at it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, I'm not for trying to milk a penalty or anything like that, but look, that one there is pretty clear as day, if you ask me. Moses was on the inside shoulder, and he stopped him from getting to the outside there and potentially saving a try. So
a big story that I seen in the news, or something that was just, it brought the nostalgia back to me. Like Rabs Warren, I just seen the headline. He's I think he's struggling in retirement a little bit. And he would consider the option, if they build a in-home studio, he would consider commentating some games again. So, what's your sort of thoughts on that?
It sounds like a great option in theory, and we both love Rabs. It'd be great to have him back. Some of his one-liners, some of the calls that he has, it's absolutely great. But I see it presenting a lot of issues, being that if he wants to be in a studio at his home to watch the game and then telecast it, one, he's not going to be able to have that bird's eye view you were just talking about and being able to see all of the play to actually call it correctly. Two, I feel like there may be a bit of a delay there. If they're trying to broadcast a game live, how do they send it to him to put his commentary on it to then get it back into the network for us all to watch it live with his commentary over the top of it? I don't see how they'd make it work. As much as it'd be great to have it work, I can't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. There'd definitely be some teething issues, some sinking issues. But I mean, like, we're in 2025. Like, just make it happen. You know what I mean? Like, I think we've got AI, we've got all this technology. Like, we've been talking about this a little bit the last couple of weeks on the podcast. Like, like for me personally, like the callers these days, like, I mean, you've still got your likes on Fox of your Vossi, and I'm actually a big fan of Warren Smith. He'd probably be one of my favorite callers. Like he was probably my number 2 always to Rabs. But for me, I struggle with some of the Channel 9 commentary. I find myself watching it on Fox. But even then, like, you go back to in the days when Rabs was in the commentary box with, especially the banter him and Gus had.
Wasn't it good?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nostalgic thing. Like, maybe he's past it. But like for me, I'd rather just see him, like, I mean, look at Wayne, he's still out there coaching. Like, I mean, get him some Manuka honey and, get the throat going and, Bob's your uncle. Like,
oh, Wayne, at this point, I think they're holding him together with just bandages, aren't they?
Well, I mean, from what they say with Wayne, with his training, he like trains harder than some of these players, like, so even if they could just get him back in there for like an Origin or a grand final or a final or something, maybe that's what they do. Make it like a prestigious thing where he just comes in for like the big games. I mean, I think for him, he'd probably want that little warm up, but imagine just having Rabs for the final series, like
Rabs for the Origin.
Yeah, like
it'd be good.
Like I miss Rabs in the Origin. Like no disrespect
I just
to
miss him in general.
Yeah, like
in general.
100%, man. He's a legend, and like in my eyes, he's always going to be the greatest commentator of all time. The AFL, they've just announced Snoop as part of their grand final entertainment. what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's Snoop, man. Like,
It's going to be Snoop.
yeah, like, I mean, is he going to go out there and start lighting a fatty on stage?
You know he is.
Yeah.
You know
Well, I mean,
it's already happening.
I hope so.
Ashing on the fucking floor of the MCG.
Yeah, them Melbournians, they better get some of that medical weed happening, man. Like some chronic.
It's going to be a short supply when Snoop touches the other thing.
He loves the land down under, I heard. So,
Oh, yeah.
But I guess in saying that, like, there is that big cross-code rivalry between the NRL and the AFL. You know, where does the NRL go to match this? You know, do they wheel out Barnesy in the wheelchair, or do they sort of, you know, like, where are they going with this?
We've had Barnesy a few times, haven't we, for grand finals and origins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you're right. Where do they go? Maybe T Swizzy, Katy Perry, something like that, mate.
T Swizzy, you're gonna need to bring the bag. You know, like you're gonna need to bring the bag, man.
Some envelopes being passed underneath tables. You think?
Well, especially I think she just announced like a brand new album like yesterday. So like, you know, like,
is she a trillionaire yet or what?
Oh man, I don't know. That she got the PJ, she's got everything, man. Like so, like. But yeah, I mean, something I was thinking about, like, one that I'd like to see, you know, like, look, if Penrith make another grand final, can we just get ONEFOUR in there? Like, I want to see the lads from the hood out there, you know what I mean? The Mount Druitt boys.
Bit of drill,
like, man.
I'd be backing it. I'd definitely be backing it.
You know, they've got to, like, look at appealing to these younger demographics now, you know, like, they've had Kid Laroi. I mean, he's done a bit of music with ONEFOUR.
Yeah, Kid Laroi and ONEFOUR have done some shows together.
Yeah, like,
I think ONEFOUR opened for Kid Laroi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even in that doco,
they were supposed to open for him. They stopped for doing their show.
Yeah, the coppers stopped it. So
yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
violence and
it's one of those things. It's one of those things where I think, you know, like you look at it, these guys, they're trying to make a difference. They're trying to get out of their hood. Like, you know, I know that, you know, you can say, yeah, the music's very like graphic and all of those sort of things. But I mean, look at video games, movies.
It's no different to the gangster rap that we listen to being brought up. I think we've touched on this before.
100%, yeah.
50 Cent hasn't been selling rock on a corner for 20, 30 years now. He may have back in the day, and some of his raps may have been about some things that may have transpired, but we all know 50's not running around shooting people anymore because he's in the music game. I think it's the same with these rappers, and they maybe have a bit of a checkered past coming up, but once they get into the music, then they're not going to be wasting their opportunity by running around stabbing people or hitting people over the head with hammers.
Word, like, I mean, a lot of the rappers that I've listened to, you know, growing up, and it's something I think Eminem said it once, you know, and it's when you're rapping, like, you know, a lot of people like have this idea, oh, like you know, don't lie in your raps and all that. And I'm not saying lie, but like a lot of art is exaggeration. Like a lot of it's an expression, you're exaggerating, you're putting emotion into it. As soon as you put emotion into anything, it's exaggerated because it creates those polarities. Yeah. You know, as soon as you go to one side on any stance, you're going to create the opposite polarity on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, so if you are out there, like, you know, rapping about rainbows and lollipops, you're going to have the exact polarity of the other side that's, you know, going to be dark, demonic, whatever, you know. So
it's just their creative way of telling their story. Like you could put out the facts and lay out the facts and tell someone this down the line. It's not going to sound real good on the song. So they have to dramatize it and exaggerate it and make it into something creative for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you go back to like I said with Eminem, like, you know, I mean, he's talking about putting his missile in a trunk and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. Like, is that really happening? Like, you know, like it's, you know, like obviously there is that exaggeration. I mean, even artists that paint, you know, that they create these outlandish art pieces and stuff like that. Art, it's a form of expression, and like I think anyone should be free to express it in the way that they want. And you know, like obviously, you are going to have people say, oh, that this is inciting violence and whatnot. But I mean, go look at the video games that people are consuming. Go look at the TV shows, movies. Like there's so many other forms of entertainment that incite just as much violence, but they always target the rappers. They always target, like, I mean, you can't tell me that, like, rock musicians and stuff haven't been, their whole shtick is like doing coke and, hookers and whatever else, like, and partying and stuff, like, and it's, like, as if that isn't encouraging, like, people that look up to them.
Like Motley Crue Netflix series or whatever it is that, and they're partying and doing blow and banging hookers and all that sort of fun stuff that the rock stars get up to.
Seems pretty fun from back, especially back in the day. Like,
hey, let's just give this up and go be rock stars. Eh?
Yeah, well, yeah. If anyone's out there that wants to make us rock stars, like, hit us up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like you said, we better jump into the Mount Rushmore.
Episode 3.
Yep. So we got today we got the Mount Rushmore of rugby league centres. So this is a bit of I think, like, the centre position, like, just doing a bit of history on it over the last couple of days. Centres, like, the positions changed a lot from what it used to be. Like, obviously, the centre position back in the day was one of the most, like, prestigious. They were the sort of the I guess you could call them the royalty in the back line. I feel like these days, like, the wingers taken a lot of, wingers have become a lot more important.
Yeah, I feel like these days the centre position's almost treated as like a proving ground before you can go onto the winger into the fullback position and so, we'll chuck him in the centre, see how he does there before we put him out here. And I think that goes back to the defensive role that the wingers play. You can't have someone that's untested out there on the wing to let them tries through. So a lot of the time now you've got the untested guys in the centre. And I feel like you don't so much anymore have those guys that are just a centre. That's what they do. They're a specialist centre. And look, my Mount Rushmore, I think I've got a couple of them in there. So
yeah, definitely. No, well, they're
started squad.
The centre, like, one thing I just wanted to touch on, I do feel like, and I've had coaches say this to me over the years, that centre is one of the hardest positions to defend in because, you're outside the 3-man, which is usually the half, and then you've got the winger outside of you. And what you do as a centre, you dictate what people. Because if you come in, the winger has to come in. If you stay out, the wingers got to, well, sometimes the wingers just come in because, that's just the way they do things. Wingers are a different breed.
They just get bored out there. I think they're sort of looking around. This is a bit boring out here. I'll head into the rock here and see if I can make some damage.
Exactly. Well, do you want to kick it off? Like,
sure. Yeah. Okay. So number 1, I've got the Goanna man, Greg Inglis. Got to have him in there, don't you?
Can't go past him.
You just can't go past him.
Yeah. Just and the other thing about GI is dominated in so many positions. Fullback, 5'8", wing. You can play him anywhere. Like,
you can put him anywhere and he'd shine. And he's just a beast. Just his power, the way he would smash through the line and just take off. You were catching him.
I think Jamie Soward's still up in row 6 from when he put that palm on him back in the day.
Putting him into the grandstand on that one, didn't he? Number 2, I've got the big man from Bronx, Jay Hodges.
Oh, man, yeah.
He was one of my favourite back in the day. I just loved watching him play, man.
Goat Sledger too.
Yeah.
Goat Sledger. I mean, something we've talked about before is when him and Guru Jr. in that Origin, Eric Grove Jr. When they were going at it. Yeah, roommates too. Like apparently they were roommates, and I think Guru said to him, if you ever do that shit to me on the footy, you're copping it. And they had their little handbag fight.
It's one of them things, I think, 2 mates, and they always just thought, I wonder who will win out of us. They took their opportunity to find out.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
It's love to see the passion in the game like that. Bring back the Biff, I say.
100%. Where's Red Dragon?
Yeah,
get him in here.
Yeah. Number 3, the old dog, Mal Meninga. Got to have him up there as well, I feel.
He's an immortal, he's proven. Like just again, that type of centre, similar to GI, just had that presence. I mean,
to dominate a ball game from the centre.
I've had to watch like a lot of tape back because obviously Mal's peak I was a bit too young for that, but like definitely can't go past him really.
Yeah. And coming in at number 4, Dane Gagai. What he's done for Queensland there, that's put me up there. He just, again, like Moses, plays up the occasion. The harder the game, the better he plays. And I think single-handedly, he's actually won us a couple of games with his intercepts and stuff like that. The more pressure on him, the better he plays.
Yeah, I mean, Gags, Origin Gags, just a different breed, man.
Yeah, it's a different animal, isn't it?
They used to always joke about when he was playing for the Bunnies, like, just put a Queensland jersey underneath it. He might play a bit of that.
Get a Queensland shield tattooed on you.
I've seen that, that Homer meme where he walks back into the bush, and it's just Gags walking out the Queensland jersey.
Oh, shit.
Man, honestly, yeah, like, you can't go past Origin Gags. Like, I think Origin Gags is just on another level.
Yeah, he's a different breed.
Yeah.
He's his own animal.
No, that's a solid list, man. Like, I'm gonna actually find that hard to top. But basically with mine, I didn't put any of the, like, there's a lot of centers that I've heard about over the years, like, your Mal Meningas, Reg Gaznia. Reg Gaznia, I'm pretty sure they knew him as the Prince of Centers. They won like 11 comps in a row at the Dragons when he was there, and in like, I don't know, it might have been the 60s or something. But yeah. I just wanted to go off players that I'd seen play. So same as you, can't go past GI, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just lethal at all levels. The fend that he had on him, like, it's just one of the best.
Yeah. And he's just one of them players. If he gets you one-on-one, he's going to smoke you.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Like,
he's going to run over.
Too big, too strong. Yeah. So yeah, and same as you, couldn't go past Hodjo. I've just, like, some of the things he'd do on the field, he'd go into dummy half. He dead set would get the slow walk man on, like, he'd just get into dummy half. He'd be walking. Like, it looked like, what are those guys that in the Olympics and they're like the power walkers?
Power walkers on the power. And then he'd sort of just do a skip and put the power on and wait and fucking go.
And deceptively strong, very strong through the hips, and, bit different to GI where he had a bit more, he'd sort of move a lot differently.
Yeah,
but
very tall and mobile still, so he could sort of get that pass away over the top and seemed to always work his hand free and get a pass away when he did seem to get trapped.
For sure. And I've also got to say with Hodjo, he had one of the worst Origin debuts I've ever seen. You can go back and watch the tape. He throws a pass in the in goal. He does it. And then the Blues got a try. Then he did it again, And so for him to come back from that and then, become the Origin legend he was, like, I think that shows a lot about his character, that he fought back from that adversity, because most people, they would have vanished into the abyss after that sort of performance.
Yeah, look, a lot of players won't get a call back after that sort of a performance. So yeah, it was really good to see him come back out and establish himself as a Queensland legend, as you said. So
number 3, I've got Steve Renouf, the Pearl. He was, honestly, man, he was one of my favourite players growing up. I used to talk to our Pop. I used to always talk to him about him and just how much I loved him, and I'd watch that grand final try. Like, I think Pop had that on like VHS, that try where, he runs the length of the field. I think Kevy gives him the big long ball and,
And he actually worked with our grandmother at the hospital.
Yeah. So, like, there's that family connection. And also, shout out the Pearl. Like, he, when our Pop passed away recently, he sent like a beautiful message and a tribute. And, Pop would have been so honored to know that, he'd mentioned his name. So,
Yeah, there was a lot of love for that guy, man.
For me, he was just, he was the upper echelon of centers in that 90s period. Like, some of the things he would do. And he would be that sort of player that he might not even be in the game the whole time. And then all of a sudden, Alfie or Kevy's throwing him in like a nice out ball. And next minute, he's scoring tries. Yeah, like, so, and that was just really, just so much class. Like Pop used to say, one of the most balanced, elegant runners of the footy you'd ever seen.
Graceful.
Just, beautiful. Man, the 4th option was what I found so hard. Like, some honourable mentions in there. Matt Gidley, I really liked him with the flick pass. Jamie Lyon, even though he broke my heart when he left Para, he's homesick, ends up in England and then ends up at the Sea Eagles like I was dirty as. They threw coins at him when he went to Para Stadium. Yeah. Say anything to get out of a contract. I mean, at the time, I probably would have got out of the contract too, the way Brian Smith was, sending players texts on the day of the game, oh, you're not in the side, but
thanks, coach.
Yeah. I had all Queenslanders in there, but I honestly looked over it and I just couldn't go past Mark Gasnier.
Yeah.
I know I had to go against my Queensland bias there, but just at the time, I mean, Mark Gasnier, that little shimmy sidestep that he used to put on guys, just breaking ankles, man.
Yeah.
Like breaking people's ankles, and they'd be standing there to try and tackle him, and then he's gone, round the corner.
Change like a little bunny rabbit.
Flick passes, big, strong, and even going back to GI, like I'm pretty sure they had GI on the wing and him in the centres for that in the centenary test in 2008, and they scored that try where they flick it back in like over the dead ball line. I might try and put a clip up on the screen or something, but
I can't.
Yeah, but it was a beautiful try, and they were actually wearing the centenary Kangaroos jerseys, so they're not actually the green and gold. They're like a blue, like a sort of a blue and like a maroon jersey. So that was for the centenary test that they had at the SCG.
I can't recall it, but I'll have to
love the rugby league history like that. So couldn't go past him for my fourth option.
Hey, that's a good list, mate. That's a good one.
And so you guys out there, any rugby league fans?
Yeah, just put your favourite centres in the comments down below. We'd love to hear Mount Rushmore, your 4 favourites.
Awesome. Well, we got some sleepers this week or what?
Yeah, we got sleepers every week.
Yeah,
every week. Coming.
Yeah, we're just going to keep them rolling.
And so on the drill that you were saying before, 1-4, not 1-4 obviously, but these guys from Goodna, I'm sure you know Lissy, but this is a little crew that he's in, the West.
Yeah,
dope. R.I.P. to Vicar, one of their guys. He died last year, so yeah, R.I.P. to him.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Song's called Earning.
Awesome.
See, I bet they're burning when they see us earning. Yeah, them boys stay hating,
So that's what they call you.
but my team stay working. Aye, yeah. Man, I can't believe it, I'm here, ready to make an entrance. They talk about making moves, but still be stuck up in them trenches. No second guessing that question, no sitting duck on the fence. It's either with us or against us. Either way, I'm here for the taking, no faking when it comes to see who's real. No talk when I'm in my feels. Back then, never look my way when it comes to the time I'll show you deals. Like, tell me how these cats can rap like that and do this, that, but I never wanna back that chat when shit gets iffy, pull right back. Lad, fuck that, they be telling laws and talking shit. Talk about loading clips, but straight out lad, they telling fibs. I'ma do me, you do you. They come around here with that fake shit. Me and my team ain't never been basic. Tell them boys I'ma make it. Lock in that bag, I'ma take it. Aim for the top, but it ain't gonna stop. Trust that, just gotta stay patient.
Used to be that kid with a short fuse and a big rage. Nowadays I'm out on the big stage with the big names, puffing that eat waste. Staying high on the sky on replay. Man, this all plays out in my own backyard. From mine to yours, I'm opening doors. I'm letting them know this is what it's all about. Through those hard yards and keep working. Don't never stop, keep learning. Cause when you subtract that L, you'll realise learning turns into...
This week, I'm coming in with one of the homies, YV, formerly known as Young Vizzy.
Nice.
Yeah, so just figured super dope, super talented. Yeah, man. I just figured it's starting to get hotter. Like we still got a little tiny bit of winter left. So this one is by YV and it's called Cold Outside.
Let's get it.
It's cold outside, yeah. I know it's cold outside. I know it's cold outside. I turn to you when I need a key.
I was chillin' watching waves, but now I'm right on my own. Moving southern like the X. In xylophone. Been hibernating in my lair again, reciting these flows, keeping my heart up on the track and my mind on the road. No time to switch lanes, stay in my lane as I progress. Put on that beat and hit play for that release to my veins. 50 hours for the week, been at the creek for 6 days. Bleed my mind onto the record till it leaks through the page. Yeah. I need a minute to relieve my spirit from the disdain that I've been feeling these days. Pressure on my shoulder blades, but I can't let that shit break. Flip off the devil on my shoulder, trying to intimidate. Yeah, then take my shorty on an intimate date. Help me remind me of the beauty that exists in this place. I know I'm pessimistic sometimes, but can you really blame me when the world outside is feeling colder than some AC? I know it's cold outside, yeah. I know it's cold outside. I know it's cold outside, I turn to you and I need to keep on. I know it's cold outside, yeah. I know it's cold outside. I know it's cold outside. Let's stay together, keep away from the storm. And I love it when you climb on top of me. Yeah. So let's ride the wave and cruise the open seas. Yeah.
All right, man. Well,
Third one in the bag.
we've done the hat trick.
Let's go.
State of Origin series done.
Done. Queensland get the victory again.
Yep. Like always, that's the way it's got to be. Thanks for sticking with us. Appreciate it.
We'll be back next week. Thanks very much, guys. As always, smash that subscribe button.